All right, ready for a deep dive. We're tackling some seriously interesting conversations today. Love, marriage, and, we can't forget social media.
Absolutely. We've got some good stuff to unpack here.
We really do. Just skimming through the clips, it's amazing how much social media impacts us, even beyond just scrolling for fun.
Oh, for sure.
Like there's this story, Anna, a student, right, doing great academically, and then bam, grades tanked because of too much social media.
Yeah, it's almost like it takes over, doesn't it? That whole always being connected thing.
It's a bit alarming when you think about it.
It really is. And the worst part, those platforms, they're designed to keep you hooked. The notifications, the fear of missing out, it's like they're tapping into something,
It's true, you do get sucked in. I've been there.
We all have.
Yeah.
And the algorithms, they don't make it easy.
How so?
Well, they learn what you like, what you click on, and then boom. It's like you're stuck in this echo chamber, maybe not seeing the whole picture anymore.
Wow, I hadn't thought about it like that. So it's not just losing a few hours here and there, it's potentially changing how we see the world.
It can, definitely. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom, right? Social media has its good sides too.
That's true. I mean, we're using it right now to connect.
Exactly. It can be amazing for connecting with people, learning new things, even making a difference in the world,
So it's about finding that balance.
100%. Being intentional. Asking yourself, is this adding to my life or taking away from it?
And that actually ties into the other big conversation from these clips, love marriages versus arranged marriages. Two completely different approaches, and boy, are people passionate about them.
Yeah, strong opinions on both sides. On the one hand, you've got that idea of arranged marriage bringing stability. Families are super involved trying to find a compatible match.
Which, to be fair, a lot of people probably aren't used to.
You're right. It's important to understand what we mean by arranged. It's not always, forced.
Right, like some fairy tale gone wrong.
Exactly. Sometimes families just suggest and the individuals still decide. Other times, it's more about tradition, finding someone who fits in with the family.
Interesting. So it's not just about love at first sight, it's about the long game.
More like compatibility for the long haul. And in those cultures, the belief is that love grows over time, especially with shared values and family support.
Okay, I see the logic there. But what about those who believe in love marriages? What's their side of the story?
For them, it's all about individual choice. That heart-pounding feeling of falling head over heels. You're building a life with someone you chose, based on love and knowing each other deeply.
Yeah, there's something really romantic about finding the one on your own, isn't there?
For sure. And those clips actually highlight this with a story about a college student totally heartbroken after a bad breakup. It reminds you that love can be messy.
It really does make you think, is one approach truly better than the other, or is there a way to take the best of both?
That's the question, isn't it? And, it's not really about saying one is better. It's more like different people, different cultures, they find happiness in different ways, right?
That makes sense. There's no one right way when it comes to love and marriage. It's just too personal.
Exactly. But if we're talking about that middle ground, that sweet spot, what does that even look like?
Well, you mentioned open communication earlier. Could that be key here?
It could be. Imagine families being involved, but not controlling. More like offering advice, sharing wisdom, but ultimately respecting individual choices.
Okay, so more of a collaborative approach. Both families and individuals working together, but the final decision lies with the couple.
Now you're getting it. You blend the best of both worlds. You get that wisdom, that experience, but also the freedom to choose what feels right.
And you know what? That actually reminds me of our social media chat.
Oh, how so?
Well, it's like, whether it's those constant notifications or societal expectations, it's about being aware of the influences and navigating them in a way that feels true to you.
You said it. It's about finding that balance.
Yeah.
Just like with social media, you want the good without letting it control you.
It's about taking what works for you, right? Building a life and a relationship that feels right, that feels authentic.
You got it. It's about making those choices, consciously and intentionally.
And that really feels like the theme here, doesn't it? Whether it's finding that special someone or navigating this crazy digital world, it's about being intentional with our choices. Choices that reflect our values, that bring us closer to what we want.
Couldn't have put it better myself. It's easy to lose sight of that in the day-to-day,
It's true. We get caught up in expectations and all that noise, and we forget to ask ourselves, what do I really want? What makes me happy?
Exactly. Those are the questions we should be asking.
And answering honestly.
Absolutely. Sometimes it means looking beyond what we've always been told. challenging those assumptions, just like we're doing right now.
It's been quite the deep dive. And speaking of, we've covered a lot. Social media, love, arranged marriages, this whole idea of intentionality.
A lot to unpack.
Before we wrap up, though, something's been on my mind. We've talked about finding that balance, between what others think and what we want, whether it's family or even that pull of social media. But what about the stuff we already carry inside, like our own baggage? How does that play into finding a partner?
You're hitting on something really important. We don't come into this empty-handed, do we? We've got expectations, past hurts, even just what we grew up thinking was normal. All that stuff shapes how we see love.
It's like we've got these invisible rules, right, about what love should be, how a partner should act.
Exactly. And sometimes those rules can hold us back. We might miss out on someone great because they don't fit that mold we have in our heads.
So how do we break free from that? If we know we're carrying all that baggage, how do we even start?
Honestly, it starts with looking at that baggage, asking yourself, where did this belief come from? Is it really true for me?
So challenging those assumptions.
Yes. What if what we think we want isn't actually what will make us happy? It's about being open to something new, something better.
I like that. It's like approaching love with fresh eyes, being open to the unknown.
It's a whole new perspective. And you know what? No matter how we find that partner, love marriage, arranged marriage, whatever, what really matters at the end of the day is the intention behind it.
Being genuine, communicating.
Exactly. Being willing to work together to grow. That's what makes it real.
This has been amazing. Seriously, so much to think about. Social media, love, marriage, even just our own beliefs about it all.
My pleasure. And for everyone listening, don't stop exploring these things. Talk about it, question things. The more we learn, the better choices we make.
Couldn't agree more. Until next time, keep those deep dives going. The most important discoveries are often the ones we make within ourselves.